This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Athletics.
Leaping at the wall, it's gone! A towering drive into center field by Rooker.
And 29 other MLB clubs.
A judgy blast. All rise. Here comes the judge.
Swung on, hit high, hit deep to right, away back into the second deck.
Bobby Witt Jr. becomes the first shortstop in Major League history to have two 30-30 seasons.
Shohei Ohtani starts the 50-50 club.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe, from humidors to walk-off dingers to Hall of Fame talk. We have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
Well, welcome to another edition of A's Cast Live from NBC Sports in San Francisco. We have a wonderful show for you today. We got a Hot Take Tuesday coming up with Johnny Doskow. We have a lot to get into as the Athletics are over 500 for the first time this deep in a season, for the first time since 2021. But before we do all of that, I've just wondered, has his ears been burning? Because I've been talking about Max Schuemann. I've been talking to him about Max on this show. I've been talking about him on NBC. I've been talking about him on A's Talk. What he is doing right now, it is a lot of fun. And he joins us from Arlington, there in Texas, from the dugout. Max Schuemann, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Can you hear me?
Towny, I don't know if I can hear you, if you can hear me.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Looks like he can't hear us. All right, we will figure it out, as obviously when you're doing live and you're going live from a dugout in a ballpark, a lot of things can happen. But I can just tell you today how we're going to start this thing out. And I thought about this long and hard because, when I get done doing A's Talk at night, it's not like I can just turn it off. And I was sitting up last night and having been around this thing for a long time, I started thinking about where this team has been recently, where we are now, and to think that 2021 was a while ago. And I think about everything that David Forst has done, because you got to remember, this franchise for so long was built by Billy Beane. We all know about the book. We all know about the movie, all the successes and doing more with less. And really what Billy Beane was always so proud of, and he should be, and it's what's going to get him into the Baseball Hall of Fame, is the fact that if you look at what it costs, the cost per win, his cost per win is one of the greatest in the history of the game. And all the things that we saw all those years, do we have Shu? Can he hear us?
I was told he can hear us. Let's see.
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
There.
Yeah, all good.
All right. Well, I was saying, I wonder if your ears were burning because I've been talking about you so much on this show and on NBC and on A's Talk, our call-in show. We've been talking a lot about you, rightfully so. By the way, congratulations on how things are going for you, because you're showing your true strength, versatility for you. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal for me, ultimately, is maximizing my potential in all those different spots on the field. And getting the nod at shortstop today, so let's just see what I can go out there and do.
Yeah, how cool is that? All of a sudden, hey, I know we put you in center last night, got you third base at the end of the game.
I think you just disconnected a little bit again.
Can you hear me?
We're going through it.
He's probably in a bad Wi-Fi spot.
Olivia said the Wi-Fi there is not great.
What to do. You know what? If we have to, let's just do it like as a radio interview. Well, no, then we can't use it for TV.
Yeah.
Find a spot. That's what happens when you go live, folks. And you have to ballpark. You would think in 2025 that ballparks would have really good Wi-Fi and really good internet. And the reality is they don't. And when you get down into the clubhouses, it's a lot of concrete. It's a lot of stuff that the Wi-Fi has to go through. I'm not a Wi-Fi expert, but yeah, it just is what it is. So once we get Max Schuemann back, we'll get back into it. But for me, what's so interesting about today, and I know last night on A's Talk, we talked about it. We had a spirited conversation to lead off the show. People start to have these expectations, and it's like, man, you got to enjoy the moment. And right now, being at 15-14, I want to remind everybody that really the whole regime change, back when this team, when you think of 12, 13, 14.
He says he can hear us again now. So,
all right, Max, are you there? Is it official? Are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Yeah.
I
feel like that's what we're going through now. Yeah.
We're doing
all
a
good.
Commercial.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, all good now.
All right.
Guys.
So let's start here. Last night you're in center field. Then they move you to third base. You make the play of the game. And then you wake up today, you're starting at shortstop against Jacob deGrom. I mean, this is awesome. What a great start. What was it like this morning waking up and you're knowing, man, I'm going after Jacob deGrom today?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best arms in the big leagues, that's for sure. And he's done it for quite some time now. So, yeah, just be ready for – I think he's going to come right after us. So just be ready for what he's got. How
important is it that you've embraced this role of being a super utility guy? Because you're a shortstop by trade. You realize being at this level, you got to play a lot of positions. But it's one thing to be able to play them, and it's another to play them and be good at them. Talk about embracing the role.
Yeah, I think just going out there and being athletic in whatever position they decide to play me in that day, or whether it's off the bench, just go and be an athlete. I think that it translates so well, whether you're in the batter's box or playing whatever position on the field. I mean, it doesn't matter. I think the more athletic you can be and getting into an athletic position, the more consistent you'll be overall.
What is the mindset like when, okay, I'm playing center field today, and you're in center field, then all of a sudden they tell you to go to third base? There's a switch because you're not in outfield anymore. The defensive responsibilities are different. Talk about that mindset switch that you have to have in the game, going from being an outfielder, center field, one of the premier positions, to now going to the hot corner, third base.
Yeah, I think this is something I learned pretty quickly in the minor leagues. Was just I played a lot in the outfield, and when you're playing a lot in the outfield, you kind of forget that how quick you have to be in the infield with your throwing and whatnot. So just being quicker with fielding the ball and getting rid of it is kind of like a main priority for me going from the outfield to the infield. Because I mean, obviously in the outfield you have so much more time. You need to get your legs under you and make a strike into the infield. But in the infield, I mean, guys are trying to beat them running 90 feet. So you got to just get rid of it as quickly as possible, in my opinion.
Now, obviously, last night you really made the play of the game there in the ninth inning. That was phenomenal. And I also loved your play in center field where you come up, you make the play, and then you're gunning to first base. There end up not being anybody there, and you're like, oh, no. But it's just like those natural instincts and that joy that you play with. You play with a certain joy. Talk about how you bring that to the yard every day.
Yeah, man. I feel like it's just the way that I was raised, right? My dad playing Little League, he would play me everywhere. It wasn't like, my kid's going to play shortstop every single day. No, I would play all over the diamond throughout my whole, I guess, Little League career, as you could say. But yeah, that's what makes it fun. I think just, like I said, just coming to the yard and trying to be as athletic as possible. And ultimately, I feel like I'm a very, very valuable piece for this team that can, come off the bench, or if a guy needs a day like today, for example, Wilson's getting a day, maybe he comes in late, but, just give him a rest day and hopefully go out there and just compete.
Last year you got used to playing every day. You're playing every single game of every single inning at shortstop. You start this year, you weren't getting a lot of play. You've earned the right now to play more. There's no question about it. What you've done with the versatility, what you've done offensively. How does that make you feel when you hear that you go, you know what? I've earned the right to get more at bats and earn the right to get more playing time?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately that decision isn't up to me. It's whatever Cox needs. I'm here for it. I think that's what we talked about in spring a little bit. Is like I'm kind of like that safety net in a way of like, hey, like I'm going to go out there and I'm going to compete and I'm going to give you a value at bat here, a valuable at bat here, and I'm just gonna grind and I'm gonna get after it. I'm gonna try to make as many plays as possible. I'm gonna dive. I'm gonna get dirty. I'm okay with doing the small ball stuff if need be. So whatever it takes to be a winning player for this team, and ultimately that's what I feel like it comes down to flip the switch and turn this team into a playoff team. That's kind of what our goal is we want to win. So if that's what my role is, I'm all for it, baby. Come on.
You bring that smile every day to the yard, and that is something that's so important when you think about people in the clubhouse and having good guys in the clubhouse. There's going to be time where you don't get a lot of play and you're not getting a lot of time. You might just pinch run, you might pinch hit, you might go in for an inning defensively. How do you keep focused when you're not playing a lot? What is the key to making sure you stay sharp, you stay focused, you're in the game, and you're ready to go when that time calls?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a tough pill to swallow when you don't get in there and you end up losing the game, right? It's always hard, losing sucks, but there's gonna be tough times, and I think just bringing a smile to the field, and whether it's like cracking a joke here or whatever somebody might need to like flip a switch for them to just turn around, like maybe they have a bad at bat or they make an error or whatever the case may be, like I hopefully can be there for them, and whether they need like a pick me up or just like hey, I'll just give them some space type of deal. Just figuring out like how people tick and how what gets them through the day ultimately, and just being there for them. And it's a long season. I try to remind our guys, especially the younger guys, like it's such a long year. Like 5 bad at bats are not going to make or break your season. So just rolling with that.
Well, we talk about all the time about how hard this game is. Sometimes you got to have fun. We got to enjoy the ride. Talk about the fun you guys are having right now, because you've really turned it around. You're over 500 right now. You mentioned it's all about winning. You're right in the thick of this thing. Long way to go, but you're right in the thick of it. How much fun are you guys having in that clubhouse right now?
A ton of fun. Yeah. I mean, the guys are clicking for sure. Winning is always going to be fun. It doesn't matter what you say. Winning is always going to be fun. But I just think turning the tough losses into, battling the next day, and who knows what can happen. I mean, like we come in here and we compete. We're facing good arms. We're facing a pretty solid team in the Rangers. So just going out there and fighting for it, So it's not going to be easy. It's a long season, just like you said. But yeah, I mean, hopefully come September, we're in the same position where we're fighting for that playoff spot,
Well, let's end on this. It's a very interesting clubhouse because you do have some veteran guys. I mean, Luis Severino, no question, is a very talented, been in this league a long time. You think of what Brent Rooker's been through in his career, from a guy who's an all-star MVP candidate to a guy that's been DFA'd. So you got some older guys that have been around, and then you got some babies in the clubhouse. I mean, you look at Jacob Wilson and Nick Kurtz, and just talk about the mix that you have with the 26 guys in that clubhouse.
Yeah. Sevy's bringing a lot of fun to the table. He claims to be the best at ping pong in the clubhouse right now. So we'll see how long that lasts. I haven't played him yet, but I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying I'm going to beat him, but yeah. And then obviously you got the young crew. That's what they call themselves. So they they crack me up. They have a ton of fun, and it's fun watching them grow. Because they're still learning. They have a lot to grow on, and yeah. So it's a fun mix for sure, and I think everybody's just accepting everybody for who they are and how they play the game, and I think we're only going to get better as the season goes on, truthfully.
Well, I'll tell you what, you keep doing what you're doing, and I'll make sure it gets recognized, and I'll keep talking about it because I've really enjoyed what you did last year, playing shortstop every single day when the team needed you, and now what you're doing, being super utility. I was talking about on the postgame show last night. I'm like, the guy was in center field, and then he went to third base and made the play of the game. That's special stuff, so I'm going to keep talking about it. Enjoy tonight, have fun, and get after Jacob deGrom.
I appreciate it, Towny. Yeah, I'll take every fan I can get, baby.
All right, take care, Max. Max,
all right. Thank you.
I love him to death. You know, there's certain guys that you cover. You see that smile. That smile, it's so genuine. It's so real. You need, in a sport that's played every single day, where everything is so hard and everything's about data, and you've got all these different people coming at you with all these different things that you need to work on. And whether you're, especially if you're struggling, it can be hard to have a guy that, you know, it's like anywhere in life, right? You go to work, work's hard. Work's not fun at times. And you got that person that always shows up and is kind of like you, Cody, the guy who's always fun.
I mean, I'm always positive.
Oh my God. When I think of sunshine, lollipops, and unicorns, I think of you, but there is something about that guy that when you show up to work every day, he's got that smile on his face. Life's good. Hey, where are we going for lunch? How are things going with the project? And, you know, you need people like that because you're going to have some hard-nosed grinders. You're going to have some guys on the team you don't like. I mean, it's a group of 26 different human beings. And there's going to be likable people. There's going to be some unlikable people. There's going to be some people who are just hardcore and they go about their business in a certain way. You need to have a couple guys in the clubhouse that are having fun, that bring that smile every single day. And Max Schuemann is that guy. And I'm telling you right now, what he did last night, you're in center field. This is a premier defensive position in our game. You leave center field and you make the play of the game on at third base. Let me get here in the scorebook. Oh, my God.
They're really far ahead in that old scorebook there, huh?
Oh, I just really messed up my scorebook. I started writing down the lineup for tonight, like 20 games ahead. Where are we? That play last night that he made on Young. So Semien walks. And let's face it, Mason Miller, he looked a little rattled to me after that White Sox outing where Baldwin took him deep. It was like 102 point something, and Baldwin, the switch hitter for the White Sox, took him down the line, and you know, he looked a little unsettled. He started throwing his changeup, which we really hadn't seen. And there are times where Mason Miller, like, he was so dominant early, and it's just the life of a closer, right? Some things can get a little, you know, feel gets a little different and get a little rattled. And, you know, he comes out and immediately walks Marcus Semien, who Marcus Semien is having a really, really bad year. Marcus Semien is hitting at .155 with a 4.49 OPS, and he's been moved way down in the order. And they're even like when they start bringing it up in the notes how bad you are, that is not a good sign. He's in today's notes.
He's batting fifth still, right? Or he was.
Semien has dropped to the 5 hole. His 4.49 OPS is third worst among MLB qualifiers. Semien's there not to be a defensive guy. Semien has that contract to be an offensive guy. And he is really, really, really struggling. But anyway, you walk him immediately. It's like, how do you walk Semien right now? You got to make him swing the bat. If I would have to go back and look at the highlight. I don't know if Young was, I don't know if Semien was going on the ball. So Young hits that shot in the 5.5 hole in between the shortstop and third baseman. Shortstop was playing over a little bit. Full on dive for Schuemann to make the play and get Young out at first. Marcus would go to second, but let's say he doesn't make that play. I don't know if Marcus was going. Could Marcus have gone to third? And if that's the case, all of a sudden you got first and third, nobody out. You're in trouble. He made the play of the game by getting that out. Then Garcia would strike out, and then Harris would pinch hit for Jake Berger. It tells you how bad this offense is going, that Jake Berger's not going to hit. Harris pinch hit, grounds out to second base to Urias, and it's ball game over. But that you talk about that skill set to be that athletic. And that's what the one thing that I remember when we talked about Bobby Crosby, and Bobby, who managed him obviously in the minor league, said, hey, Max Schuemann can really play everywhere. And you're like, oh, okay. When you hear that, you're like, all right, the guy can play everywhere. We've heard this before, but all of a sudden the guy goes out and plays certain positions and he's like, he stinks. Max Schuemann can really play and not hurt you everywhere he goes. So tonight he's going to be at shortstop. He can play third base. He's made some great plays at third base. He was just playing center field. He can play left. He can play right. You can put him anywhere. Mark Kotsay has joked he could be maybe your fourth eligible catcher because Soderstrom would be third behind Pareda, who's your number 2. And Shea Langoliers, who will join us tomorrow from Arlington, 20 minutes where he grew up. He just loves playing against Texas. But Max Schuemann is a guy that can play everywhere. What a luxury that is for the manager. Not legitly. When we say he can play everywhere, he legitly can play everywhere.
Yeah, and I was trying to think of, like, if you go back and look at a lot of the teams recently that have won the World Series, you know, the Cubs in 16 had Ben Zobrist. Obviously, the Dodgers have had Tommy Edman. The Astros have had guys. I mean, there's always a guy that's a super utility player that can plug and play everywhere.
Edman would be a good comp because Zobrist, I'm not really playing Ben Zobrist in center field or shortstop.
So, yeah, I'd go Edman. Edman just did it last year, got a new contract. Hell, he has like 10 home runs this year already. You never would think the Tommy Edman of all guys would have
Taylor with the Dodgers was able to do
He
that,
was like
right?
the poster child for the Dodgers at first. And then they started, then they got guys like Edman and other guys came up. I mean, Max Muncy was playing all over the infield when they had him for a while. He wasn't playing the outfield, but he was playing all over in the infield. But having a guy like Schuemann is a luxury for Kotz because when a guy has his day off, he can put him anywhere. And that's the name of the game anymore is versatility. And he's been able to hit a little bit and playing defense like he has the last couple of days. He's been great and saved the game multiple times through the A's with his defensive efforts.
So back to Diamond Notes, Diamond Note number 1. This is the first time that this regime has seen success. And when I say this regime, no Billy Beane, no Bob Melvin. Think about that. There was that transition behind the scenes. Billy Beane was slowly but surely allowing David Forst to basically do everything. And then Billy Beane has been a sounding board. Even when Billy had that vice president title, he left the GM title vice president. David Forst became the GM. And David, because people over the years have called this organization about David Forst, and Billy Beane was not going to allow him to go. And Billy knew that if he was going to keep Forst long-term, that he needed David to gradually take over, and Billy with all of his business interest. And that's one thing we always talked about, Billy. We did the Billy Beane show for years. Billy Beane always talked about there's other things that he wants to do in life. So Billy has gone on to do those things, but he is always there for David Forst. But this has been David Forst's ship. One of the reasons why Melvin left, I don't know how much anybody would want to talk about it, but Melvin wasn't Forst's guy. And we were going to go through a rebuild. Billy and Melvin are tight. Billy said to Melvin, take the money, go to San Diego. You got a chance to win. Now, obviously, that was a train wreck in San Diego. Wasn't good for Melvin. I think Melvin's at a good spot now back with the Giants, and they're having a great season. By the way, the only team with a better road record than the A's is the Giants.
Yeah, I saw that a couple days ago. It's incredible.
Second best road record in all of baseball. But over time, so Melvin moves on. They allow him to leave because remember, they picked up the option on Melvin's contract, so he had another year left. I think Melvin would have stayed through the rebuild if he really knew how bad San Diego was going to be. Because San Diego, and we've heard a lot, but not going to get into that.
That's who they're playing tonight, by the way, Giants and Padres.
So this became David Forst's ship, and the guy he trusted to be the captain of the boat was Mark Kotsay. And all we saw was losing. There was a rebuild. Things were changing. The politics, the stadium, the parallel pass, Las Vegas, leaving Oakland. I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on. And they completely paired it. They took it down really to the studs. And you've had a rebuild. And the A's don't like to stay in the retool, remodel, rebuild phase that long. So the reason why it's important to talk about this regime's first time winning Remember this day. I don't know what happens from here on out, but this is something to be said, that the team is 15-14 and seeing true success for the first time under the Forst Kotsay regime. Because really, when the national people build it up, they still think of the A's as Billy Beane. And now this is David Forst. This is David Forst's team. This is his staff. This is he's making all the decisions. Yes, Billy's there as a soundboard for him, but this is David Forst's deal. And Kotsay is his guy. And now Kotsay has the contract extension that will take him into Vegas. But it's just something to be said when you start looking. They've won 9 of their last 13, taken 3 of 4 of from Texas, second best road record in all of baseball. Sometimes you got to sit back, and I know it's early, but let's enjoy this damn thing. We've been through some really hard times, and too many times. Like last night, and I get it when people call into A's Talk and how all fans see situations different, but it's like, yeah, you can be critical. This is not a perfect team. No team's perfect, but this is not a perfect team. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Are there things that they're going to be able to do better, that they should do better? Okay. But enjoy the ride of a team that is winning for the first time after 50 wins, 69 wins. We went through 2 miserable seasons. We went through a miserable divorce. All the politics, all the stuff. I had to listen to people around me go, this baseball season doesn't even matter because it's all about the move and it's all about, leaving a town. And we've been through so much. This is a time where today we got to smell the roses a little bit of reality and realize, what, they're 15-14, over 500. And it feels pretty damn good.
For the first time this late in the season since 2021, which also the A's can clinch their first winning month of April since 2021 with a win today. You're guaranteed to finish 500, but clinching a winning month in the month of April when a team notoriously doesn't start well, it's a good sign.
So I wanted to lead today off with that. I didn't know we were going to have Max Schuemann to lead off the show, but I'm glad. How about the smile on the kid? How about the smile? Is that not infectious? You see him every day. He walks in and has that big smile. Max Schuemann is the kind of guy that doesn't have a bad day. Like his bad day is still not even close to your bad day. Well,
I don't have bad days. I live in the now. All right, we got to go. I don't want Nate yelling at us anymore.
If you would have seen Cody right before the show.
What do you mean? Everything's great. Everything's great.
All righty. Let's pause for station identification right here on A's Cast. Since we're giving flowers out, is that what you kids like to say now, the flowers?
That's what the Jen says.
Since we're giving flowers out today, Diamond Note number 2, next. We're going to do hot takes with Johnny D, but we got to give the bullpen some flowers right here on A's Cast Live.
Nobody beats Folsom Lake Ford. Folsom Lake Ford is a 7-time Triple Crown Award winner, Ford Motor Company's highest honor, for being the best in customer satisfaction in sales, service, and finance. Step up to the plate for our biggest selection of new Ford models, including the legendary F-150, on sale now. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters in the Folsom Auto Mall. FolsomLakeFord.com.
That ball is out of here.
A's shortstop Jacob Wilson joined Towny on A's Cast Live to share his approach when stepping into the batter's box.
Yeah, I go out there every day. You kind of have to have a different mindset up here. You're facing the best pitchers in the world pretty much. So just to be able to go up there and look for a pitch that you want to hit in a certain count and kind of being able to go up there and have good battles against these pitchers. When they want to hit a spot, they usually tend to hit that spot, and you should try to capitalize on their mistakes. If they leave a slider hanging or leave a fastball down the middle, you just try to kind of attack on those pitches, because if you miss those, it's gonna be tough to get another one like that, because these guys up here are just so good. So you just try to go up there and just have good at bats. Try to get on base, try to put the ball in play, and more times you get on base, odds are you're gonna score more runs for your team. So kind of my mindset going into it, just going up there and having good at-bats.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game time, schedules, and more.
Calling all college and grad students. Grab your friends and head to the ballpark with this special offer. Save up to 50% off select regular season games throughout the 2025 season. Get your discounted tickets at athletics.com/student. A's center fielder J.J. Bleday joined Towny on A's Cast Live and discussed his experience using the torpedo bat.
I've been using it during the homestands, and it feels like any other bat. Like when you feel it, pick it up, you hit it, it feels like any other bat. But with that being said, there have been some times where I make really flush contact and it doesn't feel like it's going as hard as it would a normal bat. So, the theory behind it is moving the barrel down towards the handle for guys who have more contact closer to the handle, to where, if you get fisted a little bit, it could potentially be a pull side home run or oppo bomb or whatever the case is. For me, I just think it's all a feel-based thing. And, there have been times where I think it feels good, but then there are times where, man, I feel like, I got a little bit more if I was using a regular bat.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
Streaming from NBC Sports, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
All righty, want to point out, and I got this note today from the great Amelia Schimmel, the voice of the ballpark in West Sacramento, and does a great job with so many different things that you see with A's content. Did you know today is Ron Washington's birthday?
I did not know that. How old? 70, let me guess. 73.
Very good.
Wow, that's a good guy. I mean, I knew Washington.
Know your age of your managers. Very good.
I knew he was in his early 70s, so I took a guess.
I'm going to play a game coming up here of how statistics lie.
And liars use statistics?
Yeah. No, that old saying. But statistics, do they lie, and do people use them? And I've had to combat this recently. So I'm going to show you how statistics lie. Coming up here on A's Cast Live. Ron Washington is 73 years old. He is the oldest active manager in baseball. And Wash obviously means, I'll be selfish, he means a lot to us, right? Ron Washington, over the years, has taken care of us on A's Cast Live, whether when he came back, his time with the Athletics, or really during Atlanta's great run, when Atlanta was making that run for the World Series and a couple of their playoff runs. Wash always took time for us during the World Series to come on this show, because this show, we run all the way through the World Series before we go into our off-season shenanigans. Wash is always, put it this way, when we were in Nashville, Tennessee, he gets the job. The Angels people were being very, very protective of Ron Washington. And we wanted to have Wash on. And the Angels people went, nah, let's wait till the season. You know who stepped in and said, no, I'm going to go on with those guys? It was Ron Washington. Ron Washington defied the PR people to come on with us at the winter meetings in Nashville. So he means a lot to us. I love the man. He is an unbelievable just teacher. Forget baseball, just a teacher. That's really what he is. And as Amelia said, it's a great point that you talk about Ron Washington today, because he saved Marcus Semion's career. And of course, the Texas Rangers, Marcus Semien. Marcus Semien played for the A's, born, raised San Francisco. Cal Bear, you're a Cal honk, Mr. Cal.
Wrong, right school, wrong school, right name, wrong location.
I am just an investor in the university. I'm just paying a lot of money to those guys.
You're just trying to, as the greatness of Cal is in its future.
I was at Cal. I left the ballpark in West Sacramento on the way home Sunday. Went to Cal. My two kids are going to Cal, and I took the kids to dinner. So I was up at Cal on Sunday. But it was great to great to think about Ron Washington today. Just want to say, Wash, happy birthday. Send him a text. Tell him that we said happy birthday. And let's not forget how many, who did we just also have on the program not too long ago that was in town with the New York Mets.
Eric Chavez.
The 6-time Gold Glove winner who gave one of his Gold Gloves to Ron Washington. So he has affected a lot of guys' careers from the defensive side of the ball. And, what he meant to Chavi and what he meant. I mean, where would Marcus Semien be? Marcus Semien was an air machine. And everybody was sitting there going, this ain't going to work. This ain't going to work. Shooty Babbitt admitted that he didn't believe Semien at shortstop was going to work. And Shooty's one of the great talent evaluators in our game. And to think what Marcus Semien and Ron Washington did, he broke Semien down. He's talking about taking it down to the studs. And I will always respect Marcus Semien because a lot of star players in all sports, when they do something like this, they don't want people to see. They want to be private. They want to work on it, but they don't want everybody going, God, you're doing that. That's basic stuff. That's what you're doing. Marcus went out every single day with Wash in front of everybody, and we watched it. The pillow glove and just simple drills and fielding out in front. I mean, there was all these different things that he was doing. And Marcus, I got to tell you that I respected him so much for what he did. And I've always told him that. I like the fact that you did that in front of all of us, that it takes a really, really special guy. And I can't root for Ron Washington because that's the Angels. And that's where I like to bring my suck it rally monkey up. I will never like the Angels. I don't think there's like a couple of franchises that if something ever happened and I was to go to work for another franchise, I don't think the Angels or the Giants would be the two places I'd be sending my resume.
Well, I can't root for the Angels either just because I don't want to see my wife happy when it comes to her sports fandom. So I'm with you there. But yeah, I mean, or if you do, you're going to have to scrub all. We're going to have to scrub all audio tapes.
Oh my God. I'm going to have to go. I can't even get on my old Twitter account, so I won't even be able to scrub it.
I just meant the audio file. We had to check the tape on everything.
Oh my God. I've ripped the Angels so much over the years, especially when we were battling them. So, but happy birthday, Ron Washington, one of the great teachers, mentors. There's a reason why speaking of the great Billy Beane, Billy Beane had him around because Billy knows smart people. One of the greatest strengths, Billy Beane will go into the Baseball Hall of Fame someday. Make no mistake. He will be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. One of his biggest strengths, everybody has strengths and weaknesses. Not you, Cody, it's all strengths. But Billy Beane, strengths or weaknesses, one of his biggest strengths is he's always wanted smart, competent people around him. A lot of people, well, not a lot of people, some people, we have big egos. So we want people around us who just stroke our egos and tell us what we want to hear. And a lot of people in business, they want people around them who they feel they can trust. These are guys that have my back. No, what you need is smart people around you to help you be better. And when you're not doing something right, they're able to tell you, hey, Jack, you need to make some changes. Billy Beane always wanted competent, smart people around him. Except Bob Guerin, we'll let you slide on that. But Ron Washington.
So won't let that go, huh?
Can't let it go. Ron Washington. Bob's a nice man, just not a good man.
World Series champion, Bob Guerin.
Multiple World Series. Yeah. Both times was on the right-hand man of Dave Roberts for both those World Series, right? So you think about Ron Washington and Beane because their relationship goes back to what team?
Oh, boy. I don't know, the Twins?
The Minnesota Twins. You pulled that out of your caboose right there.
I was trying to think, all right, Billy played on several teams. It wasn't the Mets.
Yes, it wasn't the Mets.
And it wasn't us.
No. It was the Minnesota Twins. They go back to the Twins. So happy birthday, Wash. All right.
Scott, that's right. It's not that hard, Scott. Tell him, Wash.
It's incredibly hard.
Sorry. Just wanted to play that because a lot of people remember Wash from that movie.
That got brought up the other day.
That scene?
Yeah. We were on the field.
Or Scott Hatteberg.
I saw that guy Hatteberg. I saw Hatteberg, but we were on the field and Eric Martins was working with Andujar and with a third baseman's glove, not a first baseman's glove, a third baseman's glove. Every day I wake up and I just wait. At what point are we going to see Andujar at third? I know it's happening because I've seen it. David Forst tried to redirect my question when I asked him, I said, hey, I got eyes everywhere. I got tentacles and eyes everywhere. My sources tell me he was taking some infield work in Milwaukee, and Forst didn't want to address that. So he just sidestepped it. And then I show up to the ballpark in West Sacramento, and I look down, and I see somebody who looks like Andujar doing infield work with Eric Martin. So what did I do? I ran down there, and I stood right there and looked at it so I could say, I've seen with my own eyes, yes, a glove that's not a first baseman's glove, and I know Andujar's not going to play short. That is a third baseman's glove. He's working, and then all of a sudden he took ground balls at third base. I've seen it with my own eyes, so I can report that. So I can't wait to see that. But where do statistics lie? I wanted, because today the rage for the Athletics is about bullpen. Bullpen's been pretty nails. The bullpen has posted a 0.57 ERA in their last 9 wins. Why I wanted to bring that up? Well, let's put it this way. Bullpen in the first 16 games had a 5.19 ERA. Bullpen in the last 13 games, 2.28. So last 13 games, 2.28. In the last 9 wins, 0.57. Why does that matter?
Because the team's been winning since then?
I'm going to tell you why this matters. And why statistics lie, because I've had people call up, and like Murdoch's a great example. When you look at game logs, I am a believer that context matters. And I will always say that. We have blanketed stats and data. But to me, context matters. When are you doing what you're doing, and what is happening when you do it? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So where are we in these games? What's happening in these games? Because if you just say, this is the ERA, I go, you know what? I don't buy it. So I had our guy Florito, who will be working with us. He works with us here at NBC. I said, I want the ERA of when the team wins versus when the team loses. Because in lopsided games, because we have seen early these lopsided games against the Cubs, against the Padres, we've seen these lopsided games. And to me, when you're a relief pitcher, I can only come from the college aspect, but there is, and the NFL is a great example. I always bring up the NFL because everybody watches it. There is nobody in the NFL that takes stock in a guy's stats in a blowout game if you're on the losing team. Nobody in the NFL will go, hey, look at that guy. He had 180 receiving yards. Or that quarterback threw for 400 yards. You know what they're going to say? So what? The game was a blowout and you were just chucking and ducking the whole time. They have context to stats in the NFL, at least when you watch pre- and post-game shows.
Yes, I was going to say, yes, I totally understand that point, but to the fantasy people, and your guy throws for 400 yards, they don't care if they win or lose.
Good point. But like in an NBA game, if the Warriors go out and they just beat up on Nate's Kings.
Oh, that's cheap shot.
Nate, did the Rockets win last night? Nate is our engineer back in Sacramento. Nate, did the rain? No? Yeah, Nate was rooting for the Rockets last night.
I can't confirm nor deny that I was rooting for Houston too, but
wow, I got 2 Warrior haters.
I left my Draymond Green jersey at home.
Wow. Hey, keep that down. We're at NBC and everybody here. You know when I call people honks, where people are like the ultimate homers, like you want Warrior homers, and there's a lot of young kids here. And I can tell you that back when I covered PJ Carlissimo and Latrell Sprewell, and Sprewell tried to decapitate the head coach. Anybody remember that?
What was that, 97?
Yeah, I was a part of that, where the White House had to get involved. Do you remember that?
Well, no, I was only 8.
The White House got involved. That's where the president lives in Washington, D.C.
That would have been Bill Clinton then.
Yeah. There was a lot of issues with the old Golden State Warriors at the time. These kids don't know that. These kids don't remember Bobby Sura and Bimbo Coles and O'Donnell Foyle. Everybody here only knows of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond
What do you
Green.
mean? I remember
Jimmy Butler now.
I remember Mike Dunleavy as the player that everyone hated.
Oh, God. Like everybody here is
You
the
said
biggest.
nobody likes the Kings. Mitch Richmond's right there on the wall.
The Great Warrior?
They can't. And a Kings
Run TMC?
and a Kings uniform.
Oh, that's right. He's in a Kings uni. I still tell people today that my first game ever, NBA game in the Bay Area, would have been 91, something like that. Went up. That's back when Oracle, the arena in Oakland, was just called the Coliseum too. And the first, have I told this story?
I don't know.
The first game I ever went to was Warriors Kings. Kings were led by Kurt Rambis and Spud Webb. No, I'm not. And they can they hear you, Nate, by the way?
No, they can't.
Oh, they can't hear Nate. They can't hear you on this show. That's only on the post-game show. Nate says I'm making this. And I could have swore the Kings were a light blue team. And I was correct because we went to the Kings game and I see their history was light blue. Like Reggie Theus wore white blue. They were like royal blue.
Yeah. Actually, we could actually have Nate on the show if he joined in the video, or I could actually put his audio up. But
we don't.
He gets enough airtime on Ace Talk.
So the whole purple scheme that the Kings go with now, I go back to the Kings of the Reggie Theus at a UNLV. I don't know where I was going with that. All right, back to the bullpen. Back on track because you guys are against the Warriors. You're against our Warriors.
They play tomorrow night in Houston. Can win the series.
So this series is over. I got out of a post game last night and I walked down and I'm seeing that it's tied. I'm like, don't worry about it. All right.
I'll wear my Draymond Green jersey tomorrow then.
So the whole point is people want to judge our bullpen. And we've had callers on Ace Talk try to judge the bullpen going, oh, look at these guys, ERA. Like in the wins this year, the bullpen has a 0.67 ERA. All right. There's 15 wins, 0.67. That's amazing. In the losses, it's 7.22. So that's 14 losses, a 7.22 ERA, 15 wins, 0.67. So what does that tell you? Well, that 7.22 is skewed because how many of those games what's the context? We've had these blowout games early in Sacramento. Guys are coming in and it's just like, oh God, we're just trying to get through the game. Do those innings really matter? Didn't Urias pitch?
Oh, so then we have a position player pitch. So I think
Urias pitched. Didn't he against the Padres?
Or was it Johnny Pareda?
Was it Pareda or Urias? Well, look, we've had a position. Does that count for the bullpen ERA?
Yeah, actually it does.
Of course it does.
It wouldn't score towards the starters.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what it goes when you start looking at context of the bullpen ERA. Those early games. I mean, Chicago, those games were blowouts.
Yeah, Johnny Pareda. He pitched 1 inning.
Is he the only? We only had one.
One inning, gave up 1 run, and wasn't it a homer? Yeah, he gave up a home run.
So you look at the blowout losses. Do I really care how the bullpen performs when a guy comes in and the game's already in doubt? You always care. I get it. If I was Scott Emerson and he was here, Scott Emerson, I care every single time they take the ball, it matters. Yeah, okay, I got you. But in reality, when a guy comes in and you're down by 8 runs or you're down by 5 runs, is there the intensity? Is there there when you're in the game? Hell no.
And all the A's high leverage guys in the bullpen, like Mason Miller, Justin Sterner, who still doesn't give up a run, and Tyler Ferguson had all been nails. Like Ferguson's ERA is 0.66, Sterner no ERA, and Mason Miller's the 164, and he gave up 2 runs against. He gave up the home run.
You have all the
bullpen
bullpen guys up right now.
Yeah, like you look at okay, Jose Leclerc has his ERA of 6, and he's not on the injured list.
Yeah,
Noah Murdoch has a 10.29 ERA in 10 games.
But Noah Murdoch in games where we have won has thrown the ball well.
Yes.
Like when he's coming in games that matter, when you bring somebody in mop-up duty, hey, just get us through the game, those innings don't really matter to me. That's why I always say I want to put, for instance, I'm not going to mention names, but we've had players that, oh, my God, look at me home runs he hit. And you'll be like, yeah, because the guy steps up when we're down 9-2 and hits a solo shot. Well, that solo shot when we're down 9-2, I really don't care about. That's why I always bring up Chris Davis. He hit home runs when they mattered. When Jose Canseco went 40-40, he did it in a season that mattered, where you're about winning games. That means something to me. So don't let the bullpen numbers fool you, the overall numbers, because they're lying to you. What matters is when the A's are in these tight games and high leverage situations in the 9 wins, because we've played a lot of close games. What, our last 4 wins are by 1 run?
Yeah.
The team has a 0.67 ERA. Mark Kotsay, by the way, I wish we would have got this on air. It was one of the interviews that we did with Kotsay at the ballpark in West Sacramento. He got, our cool set there. By the way, shout out to Delaire on that. How cool is the set?
I mean, I haven't heard one bad word about it. Everyone loves it.
So
we love it.
Thumbs up to Delaire. Delaire's our boss. He got up, and I had to ask Kotsay a question. I don't remember what the question was, but it morphed into a conversation, because sometimes you get into these conversations, when you have David Forst there or whatever, whoever you have there, like you put the microphones down and, hey man, let me ask, I was just thinking, and like Mark Kotsay said, today's teams are built different than years ago. Years ago, you didn't have 13 pitchers. Years ago, you had deep. It might have been something about the bench, because you basically have no bench. You basically have 4 guys on the bench. One's a backup catcher. So really you have 3 guys. So the days of pitch hitting, it's why you had to get rid of, that's why everybody had to go to a DH. Because if you get into a game where you're pitch hitting people, you're going to look down and you got nobody, but who's going to be there?
Nobody. You're going to use a pitcher to pinch hit.
You're going to be looking around and you're like, hey, Eric Martins, can you...
You're like Nicolas Cage and or John Travolta in Pulp Fiction, where he's like... that meme that everyone uses now, or GIF.
Anyone,
whatever.
Bueller, anyone. I got nobody on the bench. So essentially, we've built bullpens to withstand a lot of innings, in theory, right? They are built. Starters aren't going to go longer. Front office people don't want them to go longer. Like I would have kept JP Sears. I would have kept JP Sears in there last night, but go to the bullpen. So bullpens are built to log a lot of innings. So that's just the way modern day baseball is. You're not going to, we're not far away from, you're going to look up and there's going to be nobody with 200 innings as a starting pitcher. Last year we had 8.
8, yeah.
We used 850 something human beings to pitch.
55. Don't get it. We got to get the exact number.
Well, 2 years ago, 863. Last year, 855. So a ton of people are pitching. So bullpens are built to go deep in innings. So in the innings that matter, that's how you have to look at it. When the game's on the line, not when it's 10-2, 8-2, we've had these blowout games. In the games in the innings that matter, this bullpen has a 0.67 ERA. That's nails. Knock on wood.
Yeah, and you mentioned the 1-run games. The A's are now something we always look back. Before I mentioned how they have a chance to clinch a winning month of April,
yeah.
But also they're 4-4 in 1-run games. When was the last time we had a good record in 1-run games?
I can't remember we've been good in anything. That's why I keep bringing up 2021. Remember when everybody was like, it was a major disappointment we didn't make the playoffs for the 4th straight year?
Well, because we were all riding the high of what Marte brought to the team after the trade deadline.
It was like watching Ricky Henderson again. It was incredible. Marte played great for the A's. Marte was phenomenal. Harrison, not so much. Yan Gomes was a good guy. He was a good addition. But Marte, my God, every single time he got on, he was stealing. He was hitting jacks. He's hitting doubles. It's like, this is like Ricky Henderson. But fell short. And I remember people were angry, right? People were angry. And you look back on it and go, that was actually a pretty good season, 86 wins. 3 straight years in the playoffs, fall short, but you win 86, because 86 seemed like the mountain of God. Getting back to 86 wins now, it has looked like, wow, a long way to go.
Which is a 17-game improvement from last year.
Oh, can you imagine? Can you just imagine what people in baseball will be saying if the A's win 86 games? This is cart before the horse. I get it. I'm just saying, just to tell you where we were in 2021. The last time this team was this far into the season and was over 500 was 2021. Can you imagine if we win 80, we go from 86 wins, from 69 wins to 86, what people in baseball will be saying. And you get to 86 wins, you are in a fighting chance for a wild card.
Yeah, I mean, we saw, what was it? The Diamondbacks went to the World Series with 84 wins.
84.
So, yeah, you have a chance. In the AL, I mean, the AL is kind of bunched together. I mean, you're not really having anyone run away in the East yet. You're not having anyone run away in the Central. And then in the West, everyone's pretty bunched together. The A's are a game and a half out of first place entering today. So win today, and you're closer to first place. With Houston's playing much better, and obviously the Mariners, who they can hit now. Well, they can hit home runs. They've been hitting where their pitching hasn't been as nails as it was last year. But the West is pretty open, and it's good to see at the end of the month of April the A's are still in the race. And I know usually after June 1st is when the team takes off every year, when they start extending, when the retool phase is kicking in. So we'll see what happens after June, but it's great to see where they're at right now, because you already know you're going to have at least a 500 month of April. Win today, you already clinched the winning month, which is pretty awesome to see. It would be the first time since 21.
I had some people text me and ask me, why is Jacob Lopez starting today? I want to remind people, I just wanted to look it up real quick. Down in Vegas, he had a 2.445 ERA in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, in Vegas's ERA, Bill Moriarty educated us yesterday how well Vegas is throwing the baseball right now under the great Fran Reardon.
Coming into today, a 3.74 ERA. That's the best in the PCL and 5th best in all of AAA.
So 3 games, 2 starts. He had a 2.45 ERA, and he was 2-0. So let's be honest.
And he's made starts in the major leagues before, Tampa Bay too.
He's taken the ball, and he's thrown the ball well. What'd you say? He had one start with Tampa.
Oh, there was 2. He made one in 22, 23, and 24.
He did make one in 23.
So 4 2/3, and the other one was 5 innings. So he's made 2 major league starts.
It's his first start with the A's.
Or is it going to be like a piggyback, thing where he goes a couple innings and Hogan Harris comes in?
You know what, though? So these notes said today that it's his first career. So it says the 27-year-old Jacob Lopez makes his first career start. That is not correct.
Right? It has 2 games started on there, right?
So in Tampa, he started in 24, and then he started in 23. You can't trust stats, and you can't even trust notes.
That's why you trust me. I did the research.
Well, I just looked it up on Baseball Reference.
Oh, I looked it up earlier.
So he's getting the ball today because he threw the ball well, and they want to see. And I wonder, I don't know how Texas has done against lefties this year, but my guy Hogan Harris has to be not far behind if something goes wrong.
Yes. That's what I was saying. I think it could be like a piggyback thing where he goes like 3 or 4, and then Hogan Harris comes in and pitches 3 or 4.
What is today?
Tuesday.
And what does that mean?
Hot Takes Tuesday.
Ooh, do you got your hot take?
I do, yes.
Is it hot?
Kind of. By the way, you asked that the Rangers are 2-5 versus left-handed pitchers.
Interesting. Coming up next, hot takes right here on A's Cast Live.
When it comes to knocking it out of the park, nobody beats Folsom Lake Ford. Folsom Lake Ford is a 7-time Triple Crown Award winner, Ford Motor Company's highest honor, for being the best in customer satisfaction in sales, service, and finance. Step up to the plate for our biggest selection of new Ford models, including the legendary F-150, on sale now. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, yours in the Folsom Auto Mall, FolsomLakeFord.com.
That ball is out of here.
A's shortstop Jacob Wilson joined Towny on A's Cast Live to share his approach when stepping into the batter's box.
Yeah, I go out there every day. You kind of have to have a different mindset up here. You're facing the best pitchers in the world, pretty much. So just be able to go up there and look for a pitch that you want to hit in a certain count, and kind of being able to go up there and have good battles against these pitchers. When they want to hit a spot, they usually tend to hit that spot, and you should try to capitalize on their mistakes. If they leave a slider hanging or leave a fastball down the middle, you just try to kind of attack on those pitches, because if you miss those, it's gonna be tough to get another one like that, because these guys up here are just so good. So you just try to go up there and just have good at bats. Try to get on base, try to put the ball in play, and more times you get on base, odds are you're going to score more runs for your team. So it's kind of my mindset going into it, just going up there and having good at-bats.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game time, schedules, and more.
Calling all college and grad students. Grab your friends and head to the ballpark with this special offer. Save up to 50% off select regular season games throughout the 2025 season. Get your discounted tickets at athletics.com/student. A's center fielder J.J. Bleday joined Towny on A's Cast Live and discussed his experience using the torpedo bat.
I've been using it during the homestands, and it feels like any other bat. Like when you feel it, pick it up, you hit it. It feels like any other bat. But with that being said, there have been some times where I make really flush contact and it doesn't feel like it's going as hard as it would a normal bat. So, the theory behind it is moving the barrel down towards the handle for guys who have more contact closer to the handle, to where, if you get fisted a little bit, it could potentially be a pull side home run or oppo bomb or whatever the case is. For me, I just think it's all a feel-based thing. And, there have been times where I think it feels good, but then there are times where, like, man, I feel like, I got a little bit more if I was using a regular bat.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
Streaming from NBC Sports, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
Are you sure about where you're going today? Are you sure?
You want hot takes, I'm going to go hot.
I want a hot take, but are you sure?
I'm sure. I've been wrong many times on my hot takes. That's the whole point of it.
My hot take today is essentially going to be like me in a casino, 3 a.m. It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. Like, nothing good happens in a casino at like 3:30 in the morning. You're all liquored up. You've already lost so much money, and you're like, I'm going to give it one more chance. And it never works out. That's me today. I'm that guy. Where I should go get the midnight teaser steak and eggs, $10.99, hash browns. I should go sober up, go get some breakfast, and go to bed. No, I'm going back to the tables at 3:30 in the morning. Me and just the degenerates. That's when you walk through the casino. It's been years since I've done this, but when you walk into the casino at like 3:34 in the morning and you see who's at the tables.
I don't need to go that late. I see what people who are at the tables at 7 or 8 p.m. But I can only imagine.
Well, 7, 8 p.m. we're having a good time, right? You're in Vegas. We're having a good time. 3:34 in the morning. That's a rough crowd. That's the rough crowd I used to run with. I'm going back to that. That's me. I just want you to picture. I smell like cigarettes. I smell like BO. I haven't slept. That's my hot take today. That's what you're getting. All right, let's do some hot takes.
Oh, do you want to bring Johnny on first?
Well, you got to play the open.
Well, they need to hear the open. That's fine. Okay.
They can't hear. Oh, no, they bring on.
Every once in a while, you hear a really good sports hot take.
I don't think we're seeing Juan Soto for 5-6 guys. I'm predicting we will not see one blazing hot big trade.
Nailed it. Nailed it. Will pitch in the Major League Baseball All-Star Game this season.
There'll be 11 home runs at least in the next this 3-game series. That's a lot of home runs for a 3-game series.
Then you hear some really bad hot takes.
The St. Louis Cardinals are going to win the NL Central.
Book it.
Brent Rooker will win the 2024 Home Run Derby.
Angel Hernandez retiring is bad for baseball.
Well, on A's Cast Live, all takes are hot takes. It's time for Hot Takes Tuesday with Chris Townsend on A's Cast Live.
I love when we go back. It's just some horrifically bad hot takes. Did you guys, by the way, Johnny Doskow and Chris Caray are with us. They're calling the games in Arlington today. Athletics and the Texas Rangers. We're getting you ready for that game. Did you guys hear anything I was just saying?
Yes, we loved it. The casino, that
BO,
was great.
yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Well,
Johnny,
I'm with you on that. 3 a.m. Nothing good can happen gambling at 3 a.m. I love that. I love it's true. It's true.
because Johnny, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I do. I do.
Yeah. It is a bad idea.
Not smart. Yep.
You do not want to become friends with the people at the tables at 3:34 a.m. at a casino.
Yeah, you're chasing your money. You're all come back now. Yeah, no.
And how come they never have government names? It's always a nickname like Rusty or Fours or whatever the hell their name is on the table.
And their clothes are ripped. They have no teeth, and you're sitting there going, "What would you do?" I mean, it's bad. It's bad. All righty, who's starting out today?
Well, Caray goes, since Johnny said that he's going to have a hot take. So let's let Chris do it.
I have to set the tone.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, this one has been marinating for a long time. This is one that Johnny has heard, one that is very hot, very near and dear to my heart, and might be the hottest of the day because it is a career prediction, and it harkens back to my Arizona Diamondbacks fandom. I believe Corbin Carroll will be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
You want us to come back on that in 20 years? I'll be dead.
Well, hopefully,
It's like I got to check on that. Johnny said Rafael is going to win an MVP in the next 5 years.
Everybody in my family dies early. I may not be around. That's such a non-hot take. I'm probably going to be dead by the time that happens.
That's definitely a hot take. You told me to say that one.
No, you said try to do that.
You said
Why
you
not?
do it.
I love it. Hey, they're gonna be long hot takes. Playing the long game, man.
Okay, I'll do a super hot take today. Why?
Can you do one that may happen in the next few years?
I want you taking mine. I'm doing one for today, so do not take mine.
Okay, well, I hope that this one isn't yours. Wyatt Langford is going to hit for the cycle today.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey guys, he's still learning. He's learning hot takes. He's learning.
Well, you got to realize when he steps over into the audio world, he is the C guy. You got to remember that.
And you're the triple C guy.
I'm not even. I'm like the D guy. I'm like people have to dramatically be ill for me to step into that world. Like bad things have to happen for me to show up in your guys' world. Okay, you know what? I'll tell you this. If Wyatt Langford hits for the cycle today, it'll be the greatest hot take of all time.
It will be, and he'll be the king of hot takes. He'll be on the open. He'll be on the open.
Johnny, I said I'd go buy a trophy if you would have got yours with Nick Kurtz.
Yep.
Chris, if you're right, I'm buying you. I will find a trophy for you, and you will have the trophy if that happens. You know what? My God, can you imagine if you call that and that actually happens?
If he does it, I'll do the game with no shirt on tomorrow, Towny.
No, let's not. Let's.
I actually like that idea.
Well, doesn't no one can see it, so it's great.
That's like Bill King-esque right there.
Him a lot after the catch. I don't know if you heard, but he's famous now. He's like road trip Mike first, and then Johnny is the next person they cut to camera.
If Wyatt Langford hits for the cycle tonight, I'm broadcasting tomorrow's game with no shirt on.
And you got to go Bill King. You got to do it in your underwear.
Done.
Oh, please. No.
That's dedication to the craft right there. Dedication to the craft. All right, Johnny, what do you got?
My hot take is this. I like the daily hot takes. I like it to either get it right or not get it right. And my hot take today is not only will Nick Kurtz hit his first home run of the game today, he's going to hit it to left field. And he's going to hit not only is he going to hit one home run, he's going to hit 2 home runs like Brett Harris did. When Brett Harris hit his first home run, he hit a second one. Nick Kurtz is hitting 2 home runs tonight, the first one coming out to left field. And that's my hot take for today.
He's calling 2 bombs.
Yep.
Usually when he predicts something like this, it comes true. Remember the home runs in Cincinnati? He nailed that one.
Oh, yeah. Dude, he almost had that in day 1. Was there like 8 home runs in the first game or something like that? It was amazing.
Then you had the good Astros one last year. You said the Astros were going to finish whatever the record. You had like almost to the number what the record was going to be in the month of like May or June.
Johnny has stepped. You know what, my friend? You have stepped your game up. I'm proud of you. That's hot.
That's
hot. 2 home runs. He's going not just his first career home run. He's saying 2 home runs today for Nick Harris. And by the way, Jacob deGrom is pitching.
I know. First one's going to be out to left field.
Cody, you know what? Cody will do the show tomorrow without his shirt if that happens.
Okay.
Well, my body looks better.
I like it.
My body looks better now, so maybe I will feel okay.
I love it.
What would happen, Towny, if the Langford cycle happens and the 2 home runs in the way that Johnny described happen in the same game?
We're going streaking. We're going streaking.
We're going streaking. Yep.
We're going streaking.
Yep.
Start sizing everybody up for World Series rings. We're going streaking.
Exactly. What do you got, Towny? What do you got?
Well, say mine. What do you got?
So there's only 3 teams with the worse record than the Baltimore Orioles coming into today. That's the Rockies, who are, they're really bad. The White Sox, who are also really bad. And then the Orioles are right there, but the Pirates are terrible. Their team ERA is awful. Charlie Morton's been a brutal signing for them. Adley Rutschman's not hitting. Gunnar Henderson's not hitting. Grayson Rodriguez is hurt. Jordan Westberg just went on the injured list. There's rumblings about Brandon Hyde and his future there.
Oh, wow. From Santa Rosa, by the way, Brandon
Friend of the
Hyde.
program.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put it on there right now. Today, April 28th, 2025. The Baltimore Orioles will be one of the 3 wildcard teams in Major League Baseball. I got to fix that.
Put them on there. So, what do you guys think?
It's kind of hot. I mean, they're a good team.
Like I said, they're dead, Johnny, and then with there.
Yeah. It's not blazing hot, but it's hot.
Yeah, it's on medium low, maybe. You
don't have to. Well, we at least don't have to wait till 2057 for the guy to reach the Hall of Fame.
If Corbin Carroll plays 20 years in the big leagues, I think that might qualify him for the Hall of Fame in and of itself.
Okay, so that's 20 years, but then remember, after those 20 years,
you
got to wait 5 more before he can give the speech.
I'll be 50 by that time.
Yeah, Johnny and I will not be walking this earth by that point.
I'll be in my 70s.
If you know what Johnny and I have done to our bodies, we will not be around.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, we got our kids through college. We're good. All right, guys, as I said, it's like I'm in a casino, 3:30 in the morning, and I got to win my money back before I get out of Dodge. I have hit this take 2 straight years, but all of a sudden, once I heard Pat Murphy, by the way, Pat Murphy, if you guys saw the piece they did on him after he won Manager of the Year, they talk about how the old players, whether it was Notre Dame, Arizona State, he like apologizes to him because of what of a kind of a bad guy he was. He was known as not the most friendly guy to play for. He's now starting to bench players. And soon as I saw that, I went, oh, the old guy's feeling himself again. Here comes Pat Murphy. I am going to not double down. I am going to triple down because, as you guys know, I grew up on the north side of Chicago. As you guys know, I know Harry Caray's great-grandson. I've been a Cubs fan for a long, long time. My Cubs are finally going to bring it home for me. The Milwaukee Brewers, for the 3rd straight year, I'm going to triple down, will not win the division. It is over. I'm tired of their overhyped front office. I'm tired of all their shenanigans, and they're all the bullpenning. I'm done. The Cubs will take down the Milwaukee Brewers, and finally I will reign supreme in the National League Central. Book it.
I just want to go back. I thought you were from San Diego.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. Do I or do I not know Harry Caray's great-grandson?
You do. You do.
Fact. Have I been to Harry Caray's restaurant? Fact.
Yes, you have.
I am all in. I am all in on my Cubbies. I almost said South Side, but I remember they played on the North Side, South Side.
It's okay.
Well, I tell you, good for you. Good for you. Triple down. Why not? Why not?
Johnny, I'm desperate. Before I get out of town, I want to win some of my money back.
Yeah, what we call that on the 5-card poker table at Texas Hold'em, we call that a trips bet.
Yep, it's a 3 a.m.er, man.
You're trying to hit trips.
Yep.
Yeah, I should go get the midnight teaser, the steak and eggs for $10.99. I should, but I'm not.
No, I love it. I love it.
By the way,
I like your style, buddy.
I like the hot takes today. I mean, if one guy getting his first 2 home runs and another guy hitting for the cycle. And oh, by the way, do you realize Chris Caray just picked the opposing team to hit for the cycle?
That's gutsy.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I mean,
that's gutsy.
That's gutsy.
That's
See how he's hitting lefties, how he's been hitting his last 7 games. I mean, he's hitting leadoff for the first time in his career. I mean, why not?
Guys, this kid over here to my left is growing up right in front of our eyes, right? He really is. Look at this kid. Doing great.
I already said he's a star. I told you he's going to be a star. Well, he is a star.
He is. Just slide out now. I love you guys. I just wanted to say hello. Johnny, thank you for the nice words. I'm going to go get a water now.
Hey, just tell me what you're sensing with the team, because we had Max Schuemann on, and I'm really getting the sense of, because Johnny, to me, it's a big deal that this team's over 500, and the reason why I say that is that this is the first time we've seen success with the new regime of Forst and Kotsay. No Bean, no Melvin. This is Forst. This is Kotsay. They're winning. They're coming out of a total rebuild. Just tell us what it's like there. You're around the team, flying with the team, being around the team. Just tell us what it's like.
Yeah, Towny. I mean, the ability to win the close games, right? The ability to win 1-run games. Schuemann making the sliding catch in center field, then going into play third base and making the diving play, right? The relievers believing in each other. The starters believing in the relievers, the clubhouse believing in each other. There's a vibe in that clubhouse, and there is of guys believing in each other. There's camaraderie in there. The guys love each other. I think adding Severino is just huge in so many ways. Rooker's a leader. All these guys are rooting for each other. And I'll tell you what, just to win these close games, and you'll look 4 out of 5 against Texas already, right? 3 out of 4 against Texas. They win today. It'll be 4 out of 5 against Texas. I like the way this team is playing, and I just watch JP Sears, what he did, and then watch Mitch Spence find a way to get that pop up on Adolis Garcia with the bases loaded and 2 outs. I don't know if last year or 2 years ago we're having that conversation. The A's kind of found ways to lose the last couple of years. Now they're finding ways to win. They believe they're going to win when they have the lead. They believe they're going to come back when they're trailing. Saw the walk-off homer by Urias the other day. So I don't know, Towny. I think this team is believing, and a lot of people are believing in them, and just game and a half out of first place. I think they haven't even hit their stride offensively, as Kotz said. So there's a lot to believe in with this club.
All right, I'm always thinking about you, right?
Always.
Max Schuemann said in the interview that Luis Severino says he's the best ping pong player.
He does.
So that sounds like a challenge to me.
It is. I'm not, look, I don't know if being on the media side, if I'm able to play in the clubhouse, but I would challenge Severino off course, like somewhere else playing ping pong, and I would love to play him. I saw him play JP Sears. He looks good. He does look good, but I think I can handle him.
Yeah, when I heard he thinks he's the champ, I mean, my guy Johnny D, anytime, any place, anywhere. You might have your little fun clubhouse deal. Let's go out of the clubhouse, take it to the streets.
Right, absolutely. Let's do this.
Because you're a street baller.
Exactly. I'm a street pong player. Exactly.
Yeah, I like it. So let's get Mr. $67 million and let's see how well he plays against Johnny D from Sacramento.
Yeah, the late 50s radio guy. Let's see how that goes for me. We'll see.
From the mean streets of the capital city.
That's right.
All right. I'm going to try and book this. Right? And you know what? If we had to handicap it real quick, because obviously you said Braden can play a little bit, right?
Oh, Braden's good. Yeah, Braden can beat me.
You get Braden, you get Sevy, we get you. Who would be the fourth in this tournament, the final four?
Maybe Crosby. Crosby's really good. Bones can play.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was a shortstop. He was Rookie of the Year. He had great hands, so that makes sense. Plus, people forget just how big of a dude Bobby Crosby is.
Big dude. And Sears can play, too. Sears is a pretty good player, too.
Sears is crafty. Sears, it's amazing how many of the analytics people crap on Sears. Sears is showing, I'm going to do a breakdown of that. Great job. Have a good call today. We will be listening, and I will talk to you at the end of the 7th inning.
Right. Love you, brother. See you.
The great Johnny Doskow. That just reminded me something. If you're a left-handed pitcher in modern day baseball, I want you to think about this. You grow up, and one of your strengths is being able to get lefties out, right? That's like your strength. And then all of a sudden you get to the big leagues, and you don't see lefties anymore because they just stack the entire lineup with right-handed hitters. Think about that. Lefties have always been known. That's why we had lefty specialists. Left-handed hitters, because there's left-handed pitchers in this world than there are right-handers. So when you grow up as a baseball player, you will face mostly right-handed pitchers. Left-handed hitters have the advantage. So when you got to the big leagues, this would be the first time, or in minor league baseball, where you'd start to face a lot of lefties. Well, we've eliminated that. We don't have left-handed hitters facing lefties all that often. So as a pitcher, you've had to reinvent yourself going, man, every guy I face is right-handed. JP Sears has reinvented himself right in front of us, and that's why the sweeper has become so important for him, throwing fastballs inside to righties and having something that sweeps. A slider to a right-hander from a lefty is hard to throw. It just is. But a sweeper, because you started outside and it comes back across the plate. And what's one thing all hitters hate? All hitters hate balls that are right in under their hands. Lefties hate it because lefties always have that little loop and they like to drop that bat. That down and in is their sweet spot. In and under them, like anything we talk about getting jammed in life, anything that's under our hands in sports, we hate it. You hate it. You hate that feeling of getting jammed. You don't have, your hands don't have room, right? In golf, when you don't have that room there, you end up blocking it right and hitting a massive slice. We like to have room for our hands. When you take away that room and you've got to get the hands in, we always talk about the hands in to be able to pull the ball. Righties hate it right underneath their hands. Well, what comes right underneath their hands?
Sweeper.
The sweeper. That's why the sweeper has become such a huge pitch for left-handed guys and also right-handers, because you can now sweep that thing and it's got the horizontal, more of a horizontal break. It doesn't dip as much. And for a right-hander, you can get that right. First, you can backdoor it always. But for a right-hander, you now have something you can really get in on the left-handed hitters, right in on their hands. But for JP Sears, look how many sweepers he threw yesterday. Do you have that on Baseball Savant? He threw.
Well, I was looking. This is the number of sweepers he's thrown this year, and he's thrown 166, and opponents are only hitting 184 versus it. And he's thrown it 37 times the lefties and 129 the right-handers.
Okay, he doesn't face lefties. JP Sears is going to get a lineup every single time he goes out, so he's had to remake his game. That he's got to be efficient against right-handed. If he's going to survive, he's got to get righties out because he's going to face all righties. And what's the weapon that he has? He's got to have the stones to go in there with the fastball, but the sweeper has been something that comes in right in on right-handers' hands, and they don't like it. So that's his new weapon, and we're seeing JP Sears as it's at its best. By the way, it's happened for the second time this season. Yankees and Orioles are playing right now. Yankees have hit a home run, their first three batters of the game to start the game. Trent Grisham, Aaron Judge, and Ben Rice.
And then do that
back to back to back. It was early in the season.
I think it was against the Brewers. Remember, they blew them out. I think it was the Brewers that they hit all those.
That was their first series, right?
Yeah.
It just got sent down on our MLB app.
I think it was when we first started. Was that when we first started? Yeah, we first started with the torpedo bats.
Don't you hate when they send you something on MLB and you click on it and it doesn't go to it?
It's the power of notifications. You said it was well, there goes my Orioles hot take on them making the postseason already in shambles.
The Yankees are up 5-0 in the first inning on the Orioles. So I'll give it to you right here. Grisham hits a home run to right field. Judge hits a home run to right field, and Ben Rice hits a home run to right field. 3 straight home runs to start the game. Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Yankees and Orioles underway. Early baseball on a Tuesday.
Well, remember they did bring the wall in left field, so
these are all to right.
Oh, Judge went to right?
These are all right field.
Judge does like to hit opposite field home runs too, especially at Yankee Stadium.
Is that a nice way to start the game? 3 straight home runs?
Who's pitching for the Orioles? Oh, wait, no. It's Kyle Gibson. I believe that's who started for the Orioles today. He's making his first start. I'm pretty sure that's who it was.
I'll tell you right now. Kyle Gibson, 1 inning, 7 hits, 5 runs.
Not great.
4 home runs. Somebody else hit a home run. Wait a minute. Who else went yard? They got 4 home runs in the first inning.
I'm going to say
Grissom, Judge, Rice, Bele to Bele. Cody Bellinger has gone deep.
What's that, like his 3rd or 4th home run?
He's hitting 202, by the way.
Oh, boy. What's that? What home run number is that for him?
That is number 3.
3, okay. I knew he wasn't hitting very many home runs yet.
And Rodon, by the way, has started to throw the ball well for them, for the Yankees. And he's going today, the left-hander. He hasn't taken the mound yet, but he comes in today with a 3.50, far better than he has been.
Yeah, and he has a 5-run lead after the top half of the first inning.
Hey, we're almost out of here, right?
Yeah, well, let's pause 10 seconds.
Hold on. I just want to give everybody this real quick. Tyler Soderstrom on the road this year, a 1,213 road OPS. That's the highest in Major League Baseball. So he gave you the big hit last night with 2 RBIs. We haven't brought him up. Tyler Soderstrom has the best road OPS in all of baseball. So since you always want to do your player that the pick to click, Tyler Soderstrom once again. He's in the lineup, right? He's got to be.
Yeah, he is. He's playing left field. Ben third playing left.
All righty, let's pause for station identification right here on A's Cast.
This is Brent Rooker. You're listening to A's Cast and Sacramento's new home for athletics baseball. Talk 650 KSTE.
We are back tomorrow. Shea Langoliers is going to join us.
And we're going to have John W. Miller, the author of the Earl Weaver book.
Earl Weaver, one of the great managers, Orioles, longtime A's fans. Remember the battle the A's and the Orioles had. So interesting. He grew up around his uncle, who was a bookmaker. So he used bookie-like analytics to help build the Orioles. Fascinating. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Anything else?
I'm still efforting to get Doug Glanville on, so we'll see.
All righty. Back tomorrow. Up next, it is Chris and Johnny getting you ready for A's baseball. And then at 4:30, A's Cast on NBC. Carlos Ramirez and I will be doing. Did I do a good one?
Yeah, you did.
Carlos Ramirez and I will be doing A's Cast on NBC. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Everybody on A's Cast, the A's Radio Network, YouTubers, everybody on X, and we'll see you tomorrow at 2:30.
The A's YouTube page is your go-to destination for A's video content. Get access to great highlights, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, classic games, A's Cast Live, and more. Visit youtube.com/athletics.
This has been a presentation of The Athletics.